Hi guys, Leanne Holitza here. How is everybody? I see you figured out that I posted it early, so there's a lot of me pleases on the list already before we even got started. So, cool. I'm Leanne Holitza. I'm an energy healer and teacher in Broomfield, Colorado at the Healing Studio. My business is called Insightfulinspirations. And I do weekly oracle card readings just for fun for you guys to give you some forecasts of the week. We start off with the yantra deck, and that gives us kind of our collective energy. And then we go to our deck of the week, whatever I'm picking out to use. I'm going to use this one today. This is where the cards that will be for you to focus on. If we see a card 3 times, it's going to be something we should all focus on. So just kind of hang out till the end because you probably want to know what the big collective messages are. Okay. All right. I have heard a lot of things about this week astrologically and astrocartography wise. Not an expert in those areas. I'm only a fan of people who are. And sounds like we got a lot of bracing to do this week just in general. But let's see what the cards say. Yeah, I guess I should make some announcements while I wait for you guys to join. There is a fusion sound bath. So I do energy healing, some little mini readings while you get a sound bath. We've got cacao and sound coming up. We have doodling and sound. We have, we have all kinds of things going on. You guys just really should check out insightfulinspirations.com and look at the events. Some of them are local. Some of them are virtual or hybrid where you can attend them if you're not even here. So, all right, let's see what the week brings, you guys. All right, first off, kindness sideways, okay? So biting tongue, lots of kind of aggressive energies, acknowledging that there is a kind of a spice to our communication right now. And so this card also says acting with love. When it's sideways like this, it's basically calling us out and saying we are not being loving to each other right now. So be on the lookout for not starting fights that you shouldn't start or that you can't finish. All right. Our focus for the week is clarity sideways. Something is calling us to go deeper. Some of this crunchy energy that we've been having is calling us to go deeper. What are we needing to go deeper on? Mostly being with ourselves and seeing where that brings us. Okay. All right. End of the week, we're going to be kind of merging as one. So this is kind of the universal consciousness of one, the oneness consciousness. This energy is basically saying by the end of the week, we will have some understandings about how we're all in this together, and let's do this together and not be so divisive about things. Okay. All right. Sounds like a plan to me. Let's see what the week brings. Okay. So if you're watching later or you're watching live, this is going to be your first personal card. You're going to tune into a 1, 2, or a 3. Okay. Now, this is going to put you in a position to resonate with one of these messages that is going to come out. Now, as we do that, we're going to acknowledge that the resonance with this number is the start of your reading that builds on what we already heard. Okay. And if you hear other people's messages, you can go ahead and chat with those, in your head too, if they feel resonant to you. All right, let's go. So choose 1, 2, or 3. All right. If you picked 1, you're going to be working with Archaea Constants, bringing heaven to earth. Now it was like this, okay? So which means reverse. So what I'm kind of hearing from this message is that you are working with kind of understanding that there's constant change, that nothing stays the same, that it's really important for you to acknowledge that when you let change occur and you do it with order and consciousness, things can, kind of make more sense, meaning you're not necessarily making everything that's crunchy so alive and real. Okay, if you picked 2, you got Archangel Raziel, which is learn, change, and grow, but it's upside down. So what I'm hearing from this one is if you picked 2, this week is not necessarily the week to kind of go out and learn new things because you haven't integrated what you already have learned. So this is an integration week for you. Focus on integrating. All right, if you picked 3, you got Archaea Purity, which is cleanse and detoxify, but again, upside down in the protective. So basically this is saying, as a way to protect yourself, go figure out what you're kind of gunking yourself up with. How can you cleanse yourself a little bit more about that? And if you see she's got this tube from the up above, get out of the fray, see the big picture, detoxify from the junk that is the planet right now as far as news and information. Holy cow. All right. Let's get started on our me pleases. So I'm going to come down the list. It's good to see you guys. I am just going to call at the bottom of the list because I'm coming, but just a little patience if you don't mind. So hi, Cameron. Welcome back. Susan and Steve, National Geographic. You guys are kind of towards the bottom there. Okay, so just be patient with me. We're starting with Jen Voss at the top. Now, some of your names come through real clear and some of them do not. So just so you know, I sometimes have to guess who you are. All right. Archangel Metatron, remember who you are. Okay, so this is a message of bringing that heaven to earth kind of message again. Metatron is kind of the only angel that really is familiar with what it's like to be human. So kind of remembering your angelic self, your celestial self, remembering how you can bring that energy and resonance into your life and watch it change things, okay? Kara, Tatiana, Kaya, and Kenzie. Kara, you're going to want to focus on Archaea Mercy. Cherish your sacredness. Cherish yourself. Protect yourself. And do that by putting yourself in the alignment with taking good care of yourself and requiring others to do the same. Tatiana, you got the Archangel Zadkiel upside down. So strengthen your boundaries is basically the message, but it's in reverse. So it's just asking you to see where maybe you have too many walls up and maybe where you could put some walls down and make some adjustments, but keeping the boundaries flexible. Because when we're real stiff and rigid, it's hard for life to come at us the way that it's intended. Kai, you're going to want to work with source energy. Okay, so return to oneness, which was kind of that message about the oneness at the end of the week. Reach into your higher self, feel into those you love. Let your loving self be the thing that interacts with everybody this week. Kenzie is going to work with the Archangel Sandalphon, okay, in upside down, okay, so in protective, center and ground, and see where you aren't centered and grounded. See where the Sandalphon and Metatron are actually kind of work together. Sandalphon comes from above or from below, sorry, and brings you into like a grounded sense of self, helps you feel really in your earth power, okay? Janice, Janelle, and Donnie. Janice, you've got the Archaea Freedom. Okay, so enliven your senses. You can do the senses practices where you like notice what you see, notice what you smell, notice what you taste, that kind of thing. But this is also intentionally going and finding things that are exciting and stimulating. Okay, Janelle, you're going to want to focus on balance symbol. This was upside down. Okay, pretty much looks the same either way though. Love will find a way. Okay, so when you stay in your balanced, loving heart, it will align you with what the pathway is. It'll light the path up for you. Okay, making decisions out of love, not fear. And guess what? Shuffled got the same thing for Donnie. So you guys are working together on this. Okay, so love will find a way. That's just as long as you stay in resonance with love. Okay, so the second time's the charm, you guys, that we saw that, and it was both times in reverse. So just kind of acknowledging that might be a third time's the charm message. I'll pull the book out if we do get third time's the charm, just to make sure that even though I'm listening to your guides and I'm listening to the cards, that there's not a better like kind of clarity in the message of the deck. I mean, they write them for a reason, right? All right, Kelly and Matthew. Kelly, you are working with upside down Archangel Raguel. All right, so nourish your relationships, okay? But the ones that deserve nourishing. If you accidentally give all your energy away to things that are not very nourishing, you're going to be in a space where you're going to need to acknowledge that you're giving energy to the wrong spaces, okay? So give to what nourishes you. Matthew, you're working with a new earth, okay? So it's time for you to get out there and share your gifts. Get out there and wear that crown and be very in yourself about how the world wants you to show up. Everybody, sometimes we don't even know our gifts are our gifts because they just come so easily to us that we're just like, what? but it's, if the things that come easy but fulfill you to give to the world, those are the things to go after. Robin, Chris, and Austin. Robin, Archangel Gabriel in the upside down. Okay, so speak your truth. So this card is very much about being able to feel healed and kind of get perspective. Notice where playtime could be useful for you this week. That kind of thing. All right. Chris, it's time for you to take a leap. Okay, spread your wings. Make that decision to go ahead and take the risk, be the bigger thing, make the choice that feels like it's going to be freedom to you. Okay. Austin, your focus this week, you got 2 cards actually. You got Archaea Joy, prioritize play and pleasure. You can do that with Robin. And then you got Archaea Virtue, but in reverse. So open your heart to joy and pleasure, but do it with reverence and respect of yourself and others, and how that can be a little vulnerable to open up those spaces. But it would be to those people who've earned their way into your heart. Okay. Nicole H, you got your satellite symbol going on. So turn up your light. You can use this symbol to be seen and found in your light this week, okay? So a little bit more time to just see how you might be showing up a little bit differently if you made yourself brighter and easier to see. Lisa C. Okay, Archangel Cassiel in the upside down says face, fear, and rise. Okay, so this is going to be a week for you to go ahead and acknowledge your fears. Sometimes if you chase those fears down and you go, and then what, then what, then what? We do this in Beliefs Club a lot. You get yourself down into the truth about what you're really afraid of, and you kind of recognize that what you're afraid of isn't necessarily realistically going to happen even. Tiff, your focus for the week is source in the reverse. So return to oneness, but see where you haven't returned to oneness. See where you have maybe been blocking things off or going through the inappropriate channels to get back there. Meaning, like, let's say your oneness connection is, you're trying to do it through an internet group that you don't even see or talk to people. That might not feel so connecting, right? All right, Denise S., you want to focus on the Archangel Jophiel. Time to create. Open that flame up. Give yourself a chance to see how you can get things started. Sometimes we can be in periods of time that we didn't even know was going to spark the rest of our life. And that kind of feels like this could be that week for you, Denise. Christy and Lisa. Okay, I knew this was going to happen, you guys. 3rd time's the charm in the balance symbol, but in reverse. So let's just kind of pull this out and see what we come up with. Okay, just to see what other messages maybe we could be bringing. But this says love will find a way. The angel messages, just as water always finds a way, so too can you move through anything. In the reverse, it says, if you're moving through great change in your life, meditate with the balance symbol to find your center. Okay, there's a lot more here, but I'll read the blessing. With arms wide open, say out loud 3 times with conviction, I choose to walk the path of divine innocence, creating and sharing heaven on earth. Okay, so this is a message for all of us, you guys, this week. The symbol of balance. All right. Lisa with Christy. You're going to work with Archangel Cassiel, face your fear and rise. Okay, a little balance into chasing those fears, acknowledging that the ifs and wins can sometimes eat us alive. It's a good week to go ahead and turn to those if and wins and say, nope, right now I'm going to decide to be happy. Okay, Kimberly S. Zoom out for some perspective. Relax. It's, this is all going to be very different in a very short period of time. And then what will we do with ourselves? Zoom out and relax. Miranda Z, you've got Archangel Raphael at your side. So prioritize your health. Okay. So giving yourself acknowledgement of health and wellness and that kind of thing. Whatever you want, your body wants, give it to it this week. Okay, Heidi M. Oh, you got 2. You got the balance symbol upside down. So 4th time's a charm for that one, you guys. So that's for all of us. And then you've also got the satellite symbol. So turn on your light with some balance and love. Okay, balance yourself this week. Be willing to be seen. It's okay. Diane S., you're working with Archangel Haniel. Trust your vibes. Okay. So this was in reverse. So trust your vibes, trust yourself. You don't have to explain yourself. If you are getting a vibe that you need to address it. Give it to yourself. Okay. Stephanie R., you are going to be working with Archangel Strength, Archaea Strength. Unleash your magic. Okay. So do some things that make you feel strong or that help you acknowledge that you already are strong. You're not necessarily weak or, sometimes we all feel very vulnerable. That's normal, especially right now. I think we're all feeling really, really crunchy. And it's just a time for deep breath and recognize, you know what? Actually, I've been through a lot and I'm okay. Elizabeth R., you got Archangel Guardian Angel, ask for support in reverse. So it's time to just hand over that kind of request. Say, I will say to the universe, please help me, please protect me. And to also acknowledge when it does actually happen, like see it and go, that was my guardian angel protecting me. Yeah. We just watched a really fun movie called Good Fortune. And there's an angel in this movie that saves you from texting and driving. He just kind of, you get about to run into a car and and you wait, go, So ask the guardian angels to help you with stuff like that. Taryn, Archangel Jophiel, time to create. Okay. So the second time we've seen this one, now this is card, it kind of feels like what is ever sparking for you this week is going to spark for a while. So get yourself into a really good creative space and get yourself acknowledging that you needed time to get ready, to get your energy ready for this time. And now it's time. Kimberly P. and Juan Carlos. Kimberly, you got Archaea Faith, lead with confidence. Give yourself that acknowledgement that it's okay to be confident. It's okay to be too much. It's okay to be who you are. Juan Carlos, you are wanting a perspective to zoom out and relax. Okay, this is a big picture moment for you this week. Give yourself a minute to just not take everything so seriously. Okay. Catherine S., you've got Archangel Zadkiel in the protective. Okay. Strengthen your boundaries. Second time we've seen this, by the way. And just kind of notice too, but where you have the walls are up too high, and give yourself a minute to just take those walls down if it makes sense to take them down. The guides aren't necessarily asking you to just not protect yourself, but being flexible can be protection, especially in that like martial arts kind of energy. Hannah and Sierra. Hannah, you've got Archangel Sandalphon, center and ground, right side up. We've seen this already once, but this is the first time seeing it right side up. This is just grounding. That's what this week, get out ground. Put your feet on the ground. Picture yourself connected to the earth. Just really bringing yourself all the way in your body. Sierra, you got abundance upside down, okay? So step into overflow. But this is coming from within first, okay? So overflow with yourself. You've kind of acknowledged, I've always solved my own problems. I've always been able to do it. I can still do it, okay? Now, it doesn't always feel abundant externally when this card is like this, because it's like, we could be endless pits. We could have so much abundance around us and we still won't feel abundant. So this is about cultivating that feeling of abundance inside yourself, even with, so little. I kind of get this image of my husband and I we hiked into kind of a dried up Amazon. It was dry period, into a waterfall area. And we were with guides, and the guides brought a can of tuna and like some peppers and made us like tacos from like nothing. And it was the most delicious thing we ever had, just because of where it was and how hard we worked to get there. So sometimes you just have to celebrate, even if it's just a little bit. Okay. Aaron T., you got Archangel Gabriel, speak your truth. Okay. So this is very much about giving yourself a voice, hearing the bigger picture, hearing your higher self, allowing yourself to be really feeling your messages going back and forth with the universe more clearly. Okay. And you have to use your voice. Seriously wonderful. Courtney, you got Archaea Freedom, enliven your senses. So go out and intentionally wind your senses up. Do some things to really get just all embraced, immersed into what feels good to you. Eli, hey, you got Archangel Freedom, but you got it in the upside down. So this, even though I shuffled, it came out also saying enliven your senses, but don't overstimulate yourself, okay? So this card for you is just saying, yes, go, but also see where you might accidentally be overstimulating yourself in one way. And there's so many other ways to get involved with it, okay? Sensory experiences abound all over. Go find them. National Geographic, you got abundance right side up. Overflow, plenty, step into it, feel it, let yourself just be in awe of how life has unfolded for you. Okay? Good fortune is fantastic. Yes, and I told you, Matt, I gave you the wrong job for Gabrielle. Gabrielle's communicator. I was mixing it up with Raphael. Anyway, sorry, side note. All right, let's see here. Suzanne and Steve. Suzanne, we've got Archangel Azrael for you, endings and beginnings. Okay, so let things close down that it's time to close down, to make sure you have room for those beginnings. Okay, and prepare sometimes in advance for what you know is coming, but it's not quite here yet. Kind of like the baby on its way, kind of thing. Steve, you want to work with your guardian angel, asking for support. Okay, acknowledging that you can't do it all, and that sometimes you survive miraculously despite your own bad choices, right? So just let the guardian angels do their job and acknowledge them and give some reverence. Cameron, Archangel Zedekiel, strengthen your boundaries in reverse. Third time's a charm for this one, you guys. So I'm gonna pull the book out. Basically, I'm getting one of the messages I'm getting is to let your walls down and stay flexible, but we'll see what the book says here. All right. The message is let go of anyone and anything that is weighing you down. Stay in your power. The reverse is let go of feelings of dishonesty and or blame by saying sorry and forgiving all concerned. With both hands on your heart, say aloud 3 times with conviction. Having boundaries empowers me to create and live my best life. Having boundaries empowers me to create and live my best life. Having boundaries empowers me to create and live my best life. All right. Good stuff, you guys. Boundaries. All right. Oh, Janelle liked the movie too, see? All right. Get on side notes of movie recommendations, right? All right. Tanya. Still gotta get to Tanya. Tanya, you get to leap, spread your wings, okay? It's a week for you to get out there. And you got Archangel Azrael, endings and beginnings in reverse. So let some things in. Take the leap by closing things up and just saying, I don't need that in my life anymore. I'm ready to move through this. Okay? Take the leap. Sometimes we have to let go of the trapeze bar just to fly through the air and hope we can catch the next one. All right. Here's a card for Matt. Send Help movie was really good too. Okay. I don't think we've seen that one. All right. Archangel Azrael, endings and beginnings. This is the 4th time we've seen it. 3rd time we've seen it right side up. So let's pull this out as our. Okay. So here you go, Matt. Ready? Just as you have, this is for all of us because it's 3rd time's charm. Okay. Just as you have had happy endings, you can have happy beginnings too. Embrace the change. If you are finding change challenging, ask Azrael to help find stable ground. As the main angelic counselor, he understands that all transitions take time, love, and tenderness. Be easy on yourself. The blessing is, with a hand on your heart, say aloud 3 times with conviction. It is safe for me to lean into positive change, knowing my future is abundant and bright. It is safe for me to lean into positive change, knowing my future is abundant and bright. It is safe for me to lean into positive change, knowing my future is abundant and bright. All right. Well, I have a few minutes left. I can hang out with you guys, but we've come to the end of the meet pleases. So if you guys are still hanging out and haven't meet pleased me, that's how you can get your own card. I would say it's for you guys that it's important for you to like and subscribe, as all YouTube people would say, right? But there's also a little bell button that will tell you when I'm going live. Since I've figured out, thanks to Eli, to have a little bit more stable internet, although it's done with a very long cord at the moment. I posted it in advance, as you saw today. So sometimes, though, I'm posting 2 minutes before I'm going live. So, and sometimes I go live at other times besides just Sundays. So if you want to see what's going on, I might recommend you check that out. That bell button's kind of handy. All right. Well, I guess we've come to the end of the line. I've got all my me pleases done. We're towards the end here. Go have a great week, and we will see you next week. Go be amazing. Bye.